Hey, what's going on? Obviously, you guys want to be an owner operator, okay? And every Tuesday, I'm going to do an educational video for people that's already an owner operator or thinking about being an owner operator. Now, we already talked about what it takes to be an owner operator. And do you have what it takes? You got the mindset, you got the business knowledge, and do you got what we're going to talk about today? Responsibilities. We'll find out after the intro. Let go.
Please love me, I'm on my cool J. If you get what I get, what would you say? She wax it all off, Mr. Miyagi, and them suicide doors, Ari Kari. Look at me now, look at me now, oh, I'm getting paper. Look at me now, oh, look at me now, yeah.
Alright, YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Trucking Truth. I am your boy Aaron, and I also got my lovely lady Sharia right there. Say what's up, baby. And you can follow our personal lives over there on our other channel called THC, the Hamilton Crew. You can go over there as always and come get high with us. And today I'm still puffing on the Blue Dream. This is one of the best vapes I think I've had to date. It is truly amazing. I got this in Oklahoma City not that long ago. About a week ago, and it is freaking awesome. So shout out to Metro Vapes and thank y'all for the Blue Dream. Okay, so let's get into it. Today we're talking about responsibilities on do you have what it takes to be an owner operator. On last week we talked about business, education 101 for truckers. And also in the end I'm going to explain to you guys how to find your break-even point. And I'll call it the BEP, which is break-even point, or what you need to basically make a day to operate your truck. Okay? Now, we're talking about responsibilities. Now, as a company driver, you really don't have no responsibilities except for to get in your truck, take a 10-hour break, make sure you arrive to the shipper and the receiver on time. Most companies and most of you guys are probably getting paid cents per mile, and you chase the miles. You probably have personal goals of trying to get 600 miles or better in a day. Now, for those who don't know, I get paid percentage. I get paid, I'm no longer cents per mile. But in a company truck, you really don't have to worry about nothing. But when you become an owner-operator or a lease purchase operator, or basically where you own a truck, you are going to be responsible for a lot more than that. You're going to be responsible for fuel. You're going to be responsible for maintenance. You're going to be responsible for PMs. But the biggest thing that a lot of people don't understand is trying to be responsible for with your money. You're going from basically making $500-600 a week, or in some cases probably better than that, to making on an average $1,500 to $2,500 a week being an owner operator. Okay. Now, you got to look at it. I said in the beginning, you're going to have to pay for fuel and you're going to have to pay for maintenance. Okay? You have to be responsible with your money. A lot of companies that you will get onto as a lease operator or owner operator, they'll make you set up an escrow account, which is good, but also this is what you would want to do. No carrier is responsible for fixing the truck you're in as an owner operator. So being responsible with your money, you have to make sure you set money aside for your own maintenance. Also set money aside to further invest into your business. So there's different ways of doing it. Some people would say do it basically by taking 5 cents per mile you run, or taking 10 cents per mile you run. I usually do the 10% game. So basically, if I make $1,000, 100 of it's going into maintenance. I got a 2013, and basically the biggest issues that I have with it is PMs. Just get my PMs done and call it a day. If you totally own your truck, you got to think about more in the lines of you got to buy tires, and them tires alone a year can cost you upwards between $5,000 if you own your trailer, upwards to around $10,000. Just for the drives alone, I'm spending $3,900 to $4,500 for tires. If you really want the good ones, you can get them maybe about $29, $35 for some cheap ones. But if you really want good ones, pretty good. Plus another $1,000 for your steers. Okay, but then you're gonna have out and in things that you would have to replace on your truck. Just like last week I had to replace an airline that busted on this truck, and the airline by itself was $400. Plus the work it costs to put it in it. So that's what happens. You're going to break down. You have to pay for fuel. Those are your responsibilities. You have to be responsible to keep your receipts. You have to be responsible in what you spend your money on. You have to be responsible, because here's what happens. Okay, if once you start making X amount of money and you're not used to it, you can become excited. And when you become excited, that usually means that you're just going to go straight through the money, not think about it. And that's why I'm trying to encourage you to be responsible with that money. Put your truck above anything, because if you take care of your truck is going to take care of you. Okay, and I'll say it like this: if you're already used to making $600-700 a week, just continue to pay yourself $600-700 a week and put the rest back into your truck or back into your company. And this is really for those who either want to buy a better truck, or to get out of the lease purchase deal and buy their own truck through a third party and get on with a carrier of their own choosing, instead of going to a carrier that they have to be there with, so that way if they want to cut ties, they can bring the truck with them. Or this is also to people that wants to get into the owner-operator gang and grow and build their own fleet. And who knows, maybe one day compete with Prime. But those are what you're responsible for. You're also responsible for managing your own money. Okay? Now, like I said, if you are a company driver who's making cents per mile, you want to go to the owner-operator side, making per mile, because you're used to chasing miles. Do it for the first year to get your owner-operator experience, a little bit of more knowledge versus what I'm saying. It's just my recommendation. You can do whatever you want to do, but it's just my recommendation. It makes the transition a lot easier and stuff, and you're still doing what you're used to do, which is chasing miles. Alright, now finding your break-even point, your fixed costs, your variable costs. Learn how to put it together. Okay, so basically your fixed cost is what I explained into the other video. If your fixed cost is usually what you spend every week or every month. If you spend, the average truck payment is around $2,000 a month, average. Okay, if you're like this truck, is $2,000 a month. Okay, it's a little high because my credit sucks, but whatever. But what I do is I take my truck payment, I take all my insurances, I take my trailer payment, I take all of my my tags, everything that I have to pay once a month. Okay, and then you even include IFTA in there. So basically, your truck payment, you include your insurances, trailer payment, all of it. You add all of those up to see what you get. And that's it. You add all of those up to see what you get. Okay, now if you're paying it per week, that is good. You can multiply everything by 4 if you're paying per week. It'll figure out what you're getting. Well, you have to pay per month. Okay? But if you're going to add everything up. And if you have to pay everything per month, what you would do is you would take everything that you have to pay for each month and you would add it all up, and then you can divide it by 4 to find out what you would have to make per week. Okay? You also got to sit here and look at approximately how much fuel do you use a week. Fuel is the biggest cost, biggest expense known to man. Okay? If you run East Coast, I don't do a lot of East Coast, even though I just got back from Connecticut. It sucked ass, by the way. I hated it. But I don't run a lot of East Coast, so I don't really keep my tools like that because it's not really a cost for me. And then most of the time I try to go around tools. But if you run East Coast or you run a lot of toll roads, which is also a variable expense, you want to try to keep an average. I say always go for the high end. If you drove your truck for the last 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, and you put in $1,900 in fuel, keep that $1,900 in your mind. If you ran toll roads and out of the last 8 weeks, the highest week in paying tolls was $500, you would keep those and you would also add it to your fixed expense. So you would take your highest week that you paid for fuel, you'll take your highest week that you paid for tolls, and you would add it all together with your fixed expense. Now, for a month, it's the same thing. If you do a 3 month, the highest month that you paid for tools, the highest month that you paid for fuel, you would take all of that and you would add it in with your monthly fixed expense. Okay? Your monthly fixed expense. And I'm going to sit here and tell you why. Once you add all of it together to your monthly fixed expense, you're going to take it and you're going to divide whatever your number is after you add your fixed expense and your variable expenses, which is your fuel and your tools. You want to add those together and you're going to divide it by 4. When you divide it by 4, you got your weekly rate and what you need to gross a week if you're getting paid percentage or if you're getting paid per mile. Okay, so you will take those rates, your variables, now you added all them together, now everybody's on a week, and then you're going to take that and divide it by 7. And that's going to give you a daily rate, what your truck needs to make a day. Now I'm even going to help you out. Some people like to go home for the weekend. Some people like to go home a week, whatever. So I said just like this, there's 2 type of rates you can do. You can go do a 5-day rate, so that way you have a weekend off, or you do a 7-day rate, which means you're going to be in your truck 7 whole days. Okay, my rate right now that I have to make each week, and it's just for right now, because in about 8 more weeks, everything's going to change for me, where my fixed rate goes down to almost $1,000 a week. So right now I need to make $575 a day, because that's what it takes just to run my truck. Okay, anything over $575. So if I make $576 in a day, or just like today, I made $1,200. Everything over $575 stays in my pocket, goes back towards my business. That's what I would use to pay myself. That is my profit. That is what I'm bringing home from the net. So if you had a month, you would take a month, all your expenses, add them together, divide by 4, then divide by 7. If you pay per week, okay, what you would do is you would take your weekly fixed rates and your weekly average on your fuel on the high end, as well as the tools if you run East Coast or a highly toll road on the high end, add those together and then divide by 7. So So if you're that way, you can find out what your rate is. So right there is basic understanding on how to do your cost of operation, just the basics. Um, we can go deeper into it and stuff like that, but like I said, I don't care if you heard it over there or if you heard it over there. But over here, you won't get the mother trucking truth. I'm your boy Aaron. Stay tuned to this Thursday or Friday. I haven't figured it out. I'm gonna drop another vlog to talk about my week. Peace.